And you were telling us, which surprised me actually, it's not where it finishes. It's not where, no, sorry, it is where it finishes rather than where it bounces. Because you say you were unlucky in the last weekend because the guy had a better run on than you. But surely it would be more of a true test if they did it a bit like javelin, where it actually pitched.
You could say that you could do it that way, and it would be probably a bit more of a true. But then the grid comes into it, and it's still you still have to have that golfing element into it, and it's obviously quite hard to actually pinpoint where the ball's landing. You've got a grid that's 50 to 70 yards wide. Yeah. Obviously, there's not going to be people standing in the grid, while the balls are flying in. So they come in from the sides, and then they mark eventually where it ends up. Unfortunately, this year it didn't pay off for me. But
do you all use the same ball?
Yeah, it's a tournament-sponsored golf ball. So whoever, it could be Titleist, it could be Pinnacle or Slazenger.
So you can't choose your own ball.
No.
Don't say which one, but do some of them go further than others?
They do, yeah, they do. Only because of the compression of certain golf balls, though. They actually design it to go further for more spin or less spin, more distance or less distance.
Well, the saying is drive for show, putt for dough. But I mean, this is quite a lucrative circuit, isn't it? When you're on it,
it can be. If you're doing well and you're at the top. But the thing is, most of it is in America, which is a bit unfortunate for me. But coming back with the world title last year, I'm able to sort of promote it over here. And
do you do exhibition stuff as well?
Yeah, this year's been crazy. Loads of exhibition work, and next year's fully booked up pretty much already. So it's just getting it out there. Obviously, coming on shows like this will help that massively as well. So it's going good.
You say that.
I say that. I do say that. I hope we got some listeners in today.
So, what about training, especially? Sorry, Paul.
You're a kind of big guy. You're kind of upper body. You've obviously worked that as well. That's important. Although looking at one or two of the other guys, the Canadian guy looks sort of pretty slight, really. He looks a different build to you, isn't he?
It's a bit of a different mixture in there. For me, obviously, going the sort of bigger and stronger route has worked. But it just depends on the individual. Like I say, Jamie, who you're probably looking at there.
He just looks like
he's like a
Johnny from the X Factor. He can do 500 yards. He's incredible.
Is that right? Little Johnny from the X Factor. You never would have thought that looking at him, would you? So how's this kind of route came about? You've not gone down that route of kind of getting your tour card and becoming a professional professional golfer in the traditional sense.
Yeah, it just once it gets hold of you, a long drive. It's so exciting to do long drive. Everyone, if you ask someone, an amateur golfer, what's their best part of their game that they want to improve on? Everyone wants to hit the big 400-yard drives, and when you can do that, and all of a sudden you're in front of a crowd and you're earning money doing it, it's sort of hard to get out of it. But I'm not saying I won't go down that route. It just involves a bit more, different type of practice, really.
Yeah, and I imagine that this is the sort of thing they'd like in the Far East. I mean, do you do much over there as well?
I have actually. I've been over there a few times this year. Recently got back from China. Just previous to going out to Las Vegas for the World Championships, I was in Malaysia in the beginning of the year, doing a little sort of circuit out there, travelling. I was up to Thailand and Singapore and places like that. So it's been busy over there. It's, like I say, it's trying to grow it that side as well.
Yeah.
When you go down to the driving range, do you deliberately aim at the bloke in the
tractor? We all do, don't we?
Yeah,
I mean, the thing is, you could take his head off. Yeah. Exactly. Go through the grill. Go through the grill and knock him over.
I was going to say, I've done that a few times, but I've knocked the tractor over doing it. So I stay clear of that.
It's
fantastic. Really. Watching you down the range, everybody stops and must start looking. Blimey, he's getting it a long way.
You do gather a crowd quite quickly.
Over the back of the fence.
Drives go.
Yeah,
so what about some of the pros? When you've gone along to exhibitions, have you found some of the guys, the sort of top guys, are saying, "Hey, Joe, how'd you do that? How'd you get that kind of distance?"
Yeah, I mean, this year I done an event at the London club called Golf Live. It's basically a 3-day exhibition event where we had Darren Clark was down there, the Open win, obviously.
Yeah.
The likes of Thomas LeVay and a lot of Nick Doherty. A lot of European tour golfers, and it was the first time they've ever been pitted against someone like me, and obviously vice versa as well. And it's funny to see them guys trying to hit my clubs as well and trying to hit it as far as I can. They don't really have a chance, just like I don't have a chance to beat them in a round of golf. But it's good fun, and they enjoyed it as well, so it was great.
And are we producing, finally, Joe, are we producing enough kind of golf long drivers over here in Europe to have a bit of a Ryder Cup at some stage, you think?
Well, that's one of the main goals that I would like to do, to go out there and see if there's any kids out there who you can whack a ball and see what happens with them guys. At the moment, there's only like 3 or 4 of us that do it in the UK, unfortunately. But in the near future, you never know.
Okay, have you got a website that people can check out?
I have got a website. Yep, it's joemillerldc.com. There's all up-to-date things on there. Obviously, you've got the YouTube always going, and Facebook and the usual Twitter stuff.
Fascinating stuff, Joe. Good to see you. All the best.
Nice to meet
Thanks
you
very
guys.
much. That's Joe Miller there, and you can check out his website as well. You can check it out on YouTube as well. 2010, the one that Joe won. It is amazing stuff. It's Hawksby and Jacobs here on talkSport.